The era of global boiling has arrived. Greece wildfires erupt on mainland. Ship carrying nearly 3,000 cars catches fire off Dutch coast. U.S. urged to set e-bikes battery safety standard. Macron denounces new imperialism in Pacific on historic visit to Vanuatu. Chipmaker MaxLinear terminates acquisition of Taiwan's Silicon Motion. Subway offers free sandwiches that come with a lifetime commitment. Iranian chess player who removed hijab gets Spanish citizenship.
Hello, I'm Kristen. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Friday, July 28th, and here are your top stories. After scientists said July 2023 was on track to be the world's hottest month on record, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said on Thursday, this month is set to upend previous heat benchmarks. Guterres said in New York, "Climate change is here. It is terrifying and it is just the beginning." He added, "The era of global boiling has arrived." He noted, "We don't have to wait for the end of the month to know this." Short of a mini ice age over the next few days, July 2023 will shatter records across the board.
The air is unbreathable, the heat is unbearable, and the level of...
The UN World Meteorological Organization and European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service also said in a joint statement it was extremely likely July 2023 would break the record. According to EU data, this month's mean global temperature is projected to be at least 0.2 C, 0.4 F, warmer than July 2019, the former hottest in the 174-year observational record. July 2023 is estimated to be roughly 1.5 degrees Celsius, 2.7 Fahrenheit, above the pre-industrial mean.
Wildfires that have been supercharged by strong winds and temperatures exceeding 40 Celsius killed 2 people in the central Greece on Wednesday and forced a new wave of evacuations. In the last 24 hours alone, 61 wildfires erupted across Greece. Officials ordered the evacuation of several communities in the hard-hit area of Magnesia, a coastal area north of Athens. The Labor Ministry urged employers in the area to suspend the operation of their businesses on Thursday.
Large areas of the Mediterranean have sweltered under an intense summer heatwave in recent days, and firefighters have been battling to put out blazes across the region, from Portugal to Sicily to Algeria. Climate Crisis and Civil Protection Minister Vasilis Kikalias said Greece was experiencing very dangerous summer days. He said, "Given the climate crisis, we will again have extreme weather conditions that will again test our strength. Nothing is over. The battle will continue throughout the summer."
A fire blazed on a cargo ship off the Dutch coast with nearly 3,000 vehicles on board on Wednesday, killing 1 member of the crew and injuring several others. The Dutch Coast Guard said several crew members were forced to jump overboard after the fire began on Tuesday night on the 199-meter Panama registered Fremantle Highway, as it was en route from Germany to Egypt. Japan's Shoei Kisen, which owns the ship, said the entire crew of 21 was Indian.
The Coast Guard said the cause of the fire was unknown, but a Coast Guard spokesperson had earlier told Reuters it began near an electric car. Roughly 25 out of 2,857 vehicles on the ship were electric. The International Maritime Organization plans to evaluate new measures for ships transporting electric vehicles next year in light of the growing number of fires on cargo ships. The German Insurance Association said EVs get dangerous when batteries overheat and a so-called thermal runaway occurs.
Consumer advocates and fire departments are urging the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission to establish national safety standards and confiscate imports that don't comply with regulations at the border, so unsafe e-bikes and poorly manufactured batteries can be taken off the streets and out of homes. There were more than 200 battery-related fires reported to the Commission from 39 states over the past 2 years, including 19 deaths blamed on battery-powered scooters, bicycles, and hoverboards.
Well, there are certain safety guidelines that every e-bike owner should follow. For instance, your e-bike should have a UL certified label. It means it has passed certain standards.
New York's two U.S. senators, Democrats Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, introduced legislation last month that would set mandatory safety standards for e-bikes and the batteries that power them. New York City Fire Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh said the batteries don't smolder, they explode. He said, when they fail quite spectacularly. Once one of these ignites, there is a huge volume of fire, often so much so that the person in their home can't get out and the firefighters can't get in to get them.
French President Emmanuel Macron has denounced new imperialism in the Pacific during a landmark visit to the region, warning of a threat to the sovereignty of smaller states. On Thursday in Vanuatu, he said, there is in the Indo-Pacific and particularly in Oceania, new imperialism appearing, and a power logic that is threatening the sovereignty of several states. The smallest, often the most fragile. It is the first time a French president has traveled to independent countries in the Pacific region.
There is no institutional debate, no political debate, which settles the issues of memory.
Macron sought to underscore France's importance in a region over which China and the US are competing for military, economic, and diplomatic influence. France has 1.6 million citizens in the Asia-Pacific across 7 overseas territories, including New Caledonia and French Polynesia, and an exclusive economic zone spanning 9 million square kilometers. The country said as the US and its allies seek to counter China's growing sway in the region, France offered an alternative.
Bloomberg reported that MaxLinear, a maker of chips for broadband communications, said it terminated its attempt to acquire Taiwan-based Silicon Motion Technology Corporation, ending a cash and stock deal worth $3.8 billion. The Carlsbad, California-based company said in a statement Wednesday that Silicon Motion failed to complete some of the conditions of closing, suffered a material adverse effect, and is in breach of agreement. The transaction was originally planned to close in the first half of this year.
The MaxLinear G.HN Wave 2 product family provides high-speed networking capabilities.
The media said Silicon Motion makes NAND flash controllers for solid-state storage devices. It also supplies data centers and specialized industrial and automotive solid-state drives. The announcement came shortly after the transaction had received a sign-off from regulators in China. According to a statement on the State Administration for Market Regulation's website in China, Silicon Motion's US-listed shares had risen 25% Wednesday after that approval, with conditions attached.
Subway's latest promotion in its effort to transform the brand also requires a change from its superfans. Hardcore Subway enthusiasts can enter a contest in August to win free sandwiches for life if they commit to legally changing their first name to Subway. The chain will choose a winner and pay their legal fees to assume a new iconic identity. Subway said in February it was exploring a sale. The auction was expected to last 6 months, aiming to fetch $10 billion in valuation.
Giving sandwich fans a chance to win free sandwiches for life if they agree to change their first name to Subway.
Subway is one of the world's largest quick-service restaurant chains with about 37,000 franchise-run locations in more than 100 countries. The chain appointed a new CEO in 2019 and embarked on a turnaround plan, including upgrades to its restaurants, menu, and digital offerings. According to Subway, the changes are working. In 2022, same-store sales globally jumped 12.1% in the first quarter, compared to a year earlier, and the company recorded an 11.4% increase in digital sales.
An Iranian chess player who moved to Spain in January after she completed without a hijab and had an arrest warrant issued against her at home has been granted Spanish citizenship. Sarah Sadet Kadem al-Sharaya, better known as Sarah Kadem, took part in the FIDE World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship held in Kazakhstan in late December without the headscarf. Spain's official gazette said the cabinet approved granting Kadem citizenship on Tuesday, taking into account the special circumstances of her case.
Now, the Iranian chess player who removed her headscarf at an international tournament has told the BBC she has no regrets.
In Iran, laws enforcing mandatory hijab wearing became a flashpoint during the unrest that swept Iran when a 22-year-old Iranian Kurdish woman, Mahsa Amini, died in the custody of the morality police in mid-September. The 26-year-old chess player has told Reuters she had no regrets over her gesture in support of the protest movement against her country's clerical leadership. Under Iran's strict Islamic dress codes, hijab is mandatory and Iran has morality police, an Islamic religious police force, enforcing the law.
Now let's delve into the news of U.S. urging to set e-bikes battery safety standard. 1. Advocate to support something publicly. Many experts advocate rewarding your child for good behavior. 2. Confiscate to officially take something away from somebody, especially as a punishment. The teacher threatened to confiscate their phones if they kept using them in class. 3. Mandatory. If an action or procedure is mandatory, people have to do it because it is a rule or a law. It is mandatory for blood banks to test all donated blood for the virus. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Kristen, your host. I'll see you next time.